Welcome to another episode of Inside the Queue. I am your host, Ryan Dawley. Huh?
IQ, the show behind the show.
The show behind the show. Welcome everybody to Inside the Queue, the show inside the show.
I really haven't noticed inside anything.
It's like a turducken.
Yeah.
It's behind the show, behind the show.
The what?
The show behind the show.
Behind the show.
Behind the show.
I know some of them.
This blooper reel is going to be fantastic. All right. Woo! Welcome everybody to Inside the Queue, the show behind the show, Chronicles. And today we're here to talk about the Bizzarro episode. I'm here with Lorri, researcher for this episode, and we have our director over here, Braden McClain.
That's my name. We're here at Werner Books for IQ, the show behind the show.
Nailed it. What made you choose an episode on the Bizzarro family?
Well, funny enough, you were actually the one who ended up queuing off the idea to end up doing this for the episode, because back in January, we were looking at another sports episode to do for season 2. We'd done the Erie Blades back in season 1, and we were racking our brains. All right, what's a good Erie-based sports story? And then I was talking with you in Vlad's office, actually, and you're like, well, there's the Bizzarros.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh my gosh, there is the Bizzarros. We should absolutely. And then, yeah, that turned
Can we
into...
forget?
How can we forget the best boxing family Erie has ever known?
So tell us a little bit about your process of reaching out to the family and, what their response was initially.
It was a lot of enthusiasm, actually. They were more than open to talking with us and really just tell the history of their family and how they came to be the fighting family of Erie and have this generational tradition carry down through. Being able to go through and watch all of Johnny's fights to Anthony, who's the current fighter for the family, has just been really, really fun to watch.
What are some of the businesses that these guys run? Because this family has so many businesses in the Erie area.
Between Chucky Bizzarro's Fleetwing Auto and Ringside Restaurant, and there's so many businesses in town that are tied in with the family, that there's really no shortage of voices that can go in it and be able to speak on this legacy of the family.
The voices that we had for this episode, there were a lot of them, and there are a lot of names. Lorri?
There are a lot of names. It was challenging. A lot of times as a researcher, we read books. With the Bizzarro family, it was more going back through newspaper articles. I tried to start at the beginning with Johnny, but as I'm going through, more and more names are coming up, and I would have to refer to Braden, and he would say, well, what about Angelo? Well, John Boy, and Lou Jr., and
Louie.
Yeah, and so many boxers in the family that the tradition, we questioned, was it genetic, or did they just really inherit that love? And I think they did really inherit the love from the story that they told us. They really love what they did and still do.
I remember that after our very first interview, we ended up going over to Ringside, and as we were getting ready to interview Louis Bizzarro, I was standing off to the side with their good friend Kathy Grimaldi, one of the managers of the Ringside Restaurant, and she is the family historian for the Bizzarros, and I was literally standing there off to the side with her with a sheet of paper, building out a family tree so that I knew exactly who was a cousin to who. So being able to go through and just, sit down with Kathy was a huge help. I went and talked with Angelo Bizzarro, and I had to ask him exactly what his record was, because when you look online at the official boxing record from around the world, there's 2 Angelo Bizzarros listed, and one of them is listed of being from the town in Italy that the family is originally from. And then there's one that's listed in the United States. And he's like, oh, I'm the one that's listed in the United States. That's my cousin, Angelo, who's over there. I see where the traditions of this come
I
through.
can understand.
Yeah, thank you. Yes.
I understand you, Lorri.
Yep.
You are heard and you are validated.
Thank you.
What was your favorite fight to watch from the Bizzarros? Because you went through a lot of footage.
I think I have to be kind of basic and go with the answer that I think a lot of people would give, which would be Lou Bizzarro versus Roberto Duran, because that was a huge event that happened in the city.
Have you always been a boxing fan?
I've enjoyed boxing for a while. I remember my friends and I back in high school, we would lace on the gloves every now and then and take swings at each other in the backyard. Because, there's not really a boxing scene out in the good old fields of Corey, Pennsylvania.
No.
But I've been a fan. Every time that it's like on TV, I would sit down and watch. But I can very much say that it wasn't until really working on this episode that I fully engaged and have been going out to different boxing events.
Tell us a little bit about the creative process and like what kind of look you were going for.
It honestly stems from a lot of the boxing movies that I would watch growing up, like Rocky or anything like that, that we wanted to give this really fun backlighting to the ring. And anytime that there's an interview, we wanted to have that really strong hair light coming in. For example, Rocky 4, I think it is, they always have the stage lights outside of the ring for all the cameras and everything, and it's this really nice, just almost angelic glow that they have put around them throughout their fights. And I saw that, and I'm like, that's a style we haven't really done yet. We should try that out.
Are there any specific stories about the family that really stand out to either of you?
Hearing like Louie and John Boy talk about their uncles coming in and training them in the ring, and even now how they go down and they help Anthony learn how to fight and train up, and just really being able to hear how it is this thing that the older generation passes on this torch to the next guys through. This family really is helping raise up that next generation through in every single
like a
fight.
family
And
legacy.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's cool.
Boxing anymore gets this rap of like, oh, you're teaching kids how to fight, blah, blah, blah. Louis was able to go in and talk about, like, no, we're not, we tell the kids that we're not training you to go up and beat on every single kid that comes into the schoolyard. Like, this is a
In the
sport.
ring. You keep it in the ring.
You keep it in the ring, and it's a gentleman's sport. You watch, you make sure that you want to win the fight, but you don't want to hurt the other guy. Like, you want to be able to shake hands at the end, and that's a cool, almost brotherhood thing at the end of it as well. That, like, yeah, for those few minutes that you're in the ring, oh, you want to knock that dude's block off. But the second that it's over, you shake hands, you shake their trainer's hands, and half the time they go out for a drink afterwards. Yeah. And it really is just this camaraderie that comes together, and this gentleman's sport of fighting.
Along with the drinks, they also have meatballs.
About the meatballs.
Let's go into the meatballs.
Let's talk about the meatballs. We were filming our interviews at the ringside. Louis went in the back and he made us a nice bowl of pasta.
Yeah, because the very first day that was...
I say bowl, but it was like bowl of pasta.
Yeah, because we just got done filming the interview with Louis, and it was a phenomenal interview. We're sitting there, we're getting ready to shoot John Boy's interview up at the bar. Louis disappears for like 10, 15 minutes out back as we're setting stuff up, and I hear him doing something out back there, but my brain is sitting on getting cameras and making sure that my questions for Johnny are prepped and everything. And next thing we know, there starts to be this like, oh, okay, like he's making himself some lunch. Fantastic. Good for him. He deserves it. He just did a phenomenal interview with us. All of a sudden, this dude comes out with a punch bowl of pasta and like fresh cut bread and meatballs the size of your brain.
Like
And
that big,
My
man. I'm telling you, like I'm not even exaggerating. The meatballs were the size of my head. Like,
and I tell you what, like there are very few things that'll stop me from setting up an interview and lights and everything. Because I mean, I'm always just of the mindset that you get work done first,
yeah.
and then. But
and then you eat.
tell you what,
We ate.
I set down a light really quick and went and grabbed myself about 14 million calories worth of pasta and meatballs and just sat there and was fighting off a food coma for the entire
I needed a nap after that.
It was
was
so
like
good.
early in the afternoon. And I was like,
I tried to actually resist. I didn't want to, get all full, but Lou came right over and he said, "Don't be shy, manja." And I was like, "Okay."
have to now. Twist my arm, Lou.
When Lou tells you to manja, you manja.
You manja. We had a night out after all of this was done, and we went to karaoke. Let's talk a little bit about karaoke night.
Kathy was the one that just casually drops that every Saturday night out at the Ringside Restaurants, they do karaoke. And naturally, the divas that we are, we decided to jump on that as soon as possible. We had Vlad singing One More Time. Go ahead and
10 minutes.
show that clip right here.
Yep. Oh yeah, that's going on there. One more time.
One more time indeed, my friend.
Thank you guys for joining me on this episode of Inside the Queue, the show behind the show.
And thank you, Warner Burks.
Warner Burks.
And thank you, Warner. Somebody else say it.
Thank you, Warner Books, Kyle and Lauren. Thank you guys so much for allowing us to use your beautiful space here.
It's so good. And we've been canceled.